Hi everyone, I'm so motivated to come back in. I've been so eager to get this off the ground, this thing off the ground, but there's a story. I want to share my story with you guys. This is a true to life story. This is what's happening. This is in real time. This is what's going on. From the time I was born, you have a group of individuals that targeted me since I was born. They found out that I had came into some money and they had been following me all my life, putting spells, hexes and spells, triggering my mind, doing things to my brain, altering my thinking, doing all kind of things of the sort. Um, let's that let's a long story short. In about 2019, these people had really came back into contact with me. This is when I really started focusing in on more on what's going on, not really knowing the full picture. But as I close in on the closing aspects of it, you guys will truly understand how this is all really just coming together. But anyway, I had won some money as a young person, and these people, had took this money and been working my money and hiding this money from me for years. And so what's going on now is that it was some individuals that got tied into this that wanted up approaching me. And keep in mind, I still as a man, I had other desires. I was a high stakes gambler. I had won about 400,000 on online, playing on the slot machines, and not knowing, I was just trying to get into the market, into, just getting online altogether, and I didn't really have a direction as to where I was going or what I was doing. But this time into what was already taking place. These individuals, I had won the 400,000, so I ran across this guy by the name of David. I was sitting on this money. I was sitting on the money, not really knowing, at the time I had just won it. So I was like thinking, I wanted to do something with this money. I got a son, at the time, he had a brain tumor, and I was trying to tell him I wanted to do something special for him. So I was like, I'm going to put this money to work and make it do something. So I went into affiliate marketing, and, I first started out with wealthy affiliates, and I got into that, and then that was kind of like a hands-on type situation, and it was kind of like going at a snail pace for me, and I really saw like I needed something more upbeat, and so I was online searching around, try to get into something more repetitious, kind of the same field but more repetitious. Well, I ran across this guy by the name of David. Well, David ran across me because all the while, keep in mind, they had already been focusing on me. So me not knowing what's really going on, when I approached David, or David approached me, however it occurred, when I came in, he saw the 400,000 sitting in my email account, and I really didn't know really much about how all this works. They had some kind of gadget to where they can swap or steal your email or all your personal information, and you not even know it. But anyway, the guy sitting there, he knew that I had the 400,000 sitting in my account. He was like, well, I can't really help you with you being you're on AT&T. You're going to have to come over and get on Gmail for me to be able to assist you with getting involved with affiliate marketing. I can help everything, progress for you. So I'm like, okay, well, that would be no problem. Me not knowing, he's looking at everything going on in my account. So really what occurred at this point, he had undermined me, defrauded me for the 400,000, set up a business in my name, and got to operating a business. I'm not knowing none of this, keep in mind. So within the time he established this business for me, the affiliate marketing business, I had a business called Wealthy Affiliates, Work Digital Affiliates. I'm sorry. So I started working that. I've been working that pretty much for about a couple of years. So I'm just in between building the company. I'm scaling. I'm not even into going into my bank accounts or anything. But keep in mind, when this guy, David, set these accounts up, when he set me up, he had defrauded me out of the 400,000 off the top, but he set all my business accounts up and routed them to himself. So in between that time, I'm playing Publishers Clearinghouse at the same time. I'm winning RVs, cars. I'm doing this. So all at the same time. You had an employee on Publishers Clearinghouse. Then goes by the name of Danielle Lane. Pretty lady. But anyway, this lady, you know what I'm saying, she kind of stood out to me for some odd reason. Well, at the same token, I'm going through the motions with playing this game. Years, like a year or two playing, then went by. So, me knowing how Publishers Clearinghouse move, I'm looking at and reading into all their descriptions on how you get paid and how the payout works and all that. And by chance, no one ever told me you had to pay out of pocket to receive prizes or anything like that. They deliver. They come to your door. They deliver it. You don't even know they coming. That was my impression. Well, at the bottom end of 2023, Danielle Lane pops up calling me. Well, me and her, for some odd reason, a little bit up in the year, about the latter part of 2022, she got on the, me and her was communicating online. She was trying to reach out across and open an olive branch to me. We talking, and she was trying to figure out how did I feel about communicating with a celebrity, or I don't know what her status was, but we were communicating all together. Me not knowing she's in on it with David. These people who then took the 400,000. So the two of them, they called me up. Well, I didn't know she was with him, but as I think back and I see it all now, it's coming more clear to me what was happening. They came to where I live at, the state in Wisconsin where I live, to act as though, well, you got a home and an automobile here. I need to deliver this, but you need to be able to pay the taxes on this before we can deliver it. So I'm like, okay. Well, she was my officer, but the delivery officer who was supposed to deliver the prize. So I'm like, okay. Well, I don't have what you're talking about. So what are you talking about? Well, she went like from $300 or whatever. So I'm like, okay, $300. That ain't much of nothing. So, okay, I did that. I wired her the money, not thinking to go back to what the policy was. You don't have to pay for Publishers Clearinghouse prizes or whatever. So anyway, and like I said, these people then took me for way more than what I'm shooting at. These people then got me from, I guarantee you, $500 million. I'm talking about between cash and prizes, at least $500 million. This ain't even talking about no house. This don't even include the house, and this ain't even been brought to the table. Is what I'm speaking on. Not only that, so when she came, both of them came. Now, keep in mind, she's trying to come across like, she's coming to deliver the prize, this, that, and the other. She sent me some kind of form showing me the paperwork. I know she's working at Publishers Clearinghouse. So that was easy to throw across to me to kind of build some confidence in me. But the whole goal was to try to lure me at this point to get me out, because once I knew she was in town, I kept poking around with her because she was a beautiful lady. Don't get me wrong, poking around at her, making passes at her. So, between this time, her understanding that, that I had some sort of feelings for her at some point or another, and this was just all about no commitment. It was just, hey, just try to see what could happen, outside of me receiving my prize. But I knew something wasn't right with the ideal. It was about the money. That's why I never took on the obligation of trying to go and meet with her privately, or do anything privately or personally with her. Altogether, what occurred at this point They kept trying to lure me. So once they saw that they couldn't get me to bite, then the dollar went up from 300 to 3 grand. So they stayed in my city for about another week trying to get me out the house and come to where she was. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm gonna send somebody over to get you. So I'm like, come send somebody to come get me. That don't even sound right. So all the while they're playing, keep in mind they got life insurance policies out on me that didn't took out. These life insurance policies was taken out in 2019. They had already had all this stuff already orchestrated. And pretty much reason being because David already removed the 400,000 from my account. That didn't uh the bubble didn't burst on that as of yet, because I didn't figure out none of this stuff as of yet was even taking place. Now, in between all this, these people, they see me, my business scaling. They didn't went to the people online, to Google, and got Google to downside and release me for whatever reason, release me from my business. So I'm like, I'm not even aware of all that. I'm just still going with the motions. I'm going and it's going. So really, when it all hit the fan and everything really came together, and they realized that they couldn't get me like that. What wound up occurring is she tried to have an out. Her out was, okay, some twin flame. Oh, she went into my Akashic record and learning about, they already knew my past and who I was and what I had and what was going on. They had already had all this stuff deadlocked. So all in all, whatever is going on as far as a business, a house, all this stuff already belonged to me for years. About time I'm talking about from when I was a youth. All this stuff already belonged to me. So now they're trying to sell you the story like, oh, well, she had, and as far as the house and stuff, she falsified the documents, switched the paperwork up, wrote it up like she was my wife, falsifying documents about like she was my wife. They had already altered they had came up with a false death certificate, put a false death certificate out on me, false life insurance policy that's still in effect, you know what I'm saying, out on me. And once all this stuff didn't gel, and they couldn't really get me where they want. So now it's a game of cat and mouse. We got to try to figure out how we're going to get them. So now her plan B was, this, we have this twin flame, this past life love affair or connection that we could build off of. We were lovers from the past or something. And, she kept trying to sell a story like me and her had this fling or something like that. And like I said, when I was making these jabs at her, that's just like a normal man seeing a woman, a decent woman, and hey, you know what? It's all fun and dandy. But when I come to find out, what I've come to find out, as I'm clear on who she is, she's a female who had a sex change. And not only that, you know what I'm saying, she's dealing with a gay man who, is fine with that. So she's a bisexual, I guess. That's what you would call her. I don't have no problem calling it what it is, but that's not me. I'm not gay. I'm not any of that. You know what I'm saying? So all together, these two are two individuals who were made for each other. She wound up getting in some sort of relationship with him. All that was fine, but how all this is affecting me, and the downside to all this is, like I said, they're a team. These two came as a team. They've been a team from the beginning, and the whole thing is, like I said, behind the scene, there's more individuals at play in this here, because now what's really done took place, there's more things, there's more moving parts to this. There's properties out here that these people have belong to me. Land, property, businesses, all sorts of type of gratuities that are out here, that's out here in my name, cars, you name it. And what's going on, these people work in the law system, in the field of law. These are ex-officers or current officers that went rogue. You know what I'm saying? And they're out here ripping people off, killing people, doing all this stuff. A lot of all this is going on right now. And like I said, everybody who they come in contact with and they make these deals, they out here, these are hitmen, contract killers. These people out here killing people for contracts. Anybody who's got a large sum of money, believe me, they cross your path, they get involved. I mean, from your mother to your grandmother to your whoever next to kin they can come in contact with. They're sifting and ciphering through all your personal life. They're paying people to just play up on you and be up close to you in your life. And I know what's up. I'm a street person, so the one thing about all this here is I gave my life to God in 2020, pretty much. And before then, but I really got into my faith around, like I said, in 2020. But like I said, in between all that, me being the person that I am now today, it's only by the grace of God that I'm allowing this to play out the way it's playing out, and I'm letting God handle it. I surrender it all because God knows my heart, and the people that know me, that know I walk this planet. God, I'm glad that you played this role in my life that you have, because this would not end the way. This wouldn't even end this way. This would have been over with. If I was still living the life I used to live, this would have been over with. I would have been looking for them. I would have been sleeping under their porches at night and meeting and greeting them day one when this first came to my knowledge. But like I said, I got a heart. God gave me a heart of compassion and then forgiveness. I forgive them. I forgave them, and I forgive them now for what they did to me. But the one thing they keep trying to do is play me like I'm some Joe Blow out of the gutter or something, like I'm a nobody. I have a loving family. I come from a loving family. They're sitting here assassinating my character like they my parents. They done wrote up false documents and birth certificates and stuff on me. Got my identity screwed up. They got the general public out here thinking that they're my parents, like they're my mother and my dad and my lover. And, these people, I don't know these people from a can of paint. Never in my life seen these people a day in my life outside of dealing with them from this description of having to try to fight to get my identity and my property back. This is what this is about now. And all this is about is now I'm dealing with hitmen and lying politicians and lying government people in government and police officers and stuff playing, this game, trying to finesse me out of what belongs to me. And that ain't even finna happen, because you're gonna take my life. I'm gonna make you kill me, but I'm gonna make sure that I get what belongs to me, and my family will be able to suffice what belongs to me and have a prosperous life. But y'all ain't finna do what you think you finna do to me. That ain't finna happen like that. And like I said, these people here, they're criminals. They're killing anybody in they path. They killing judges. They killing everybody who has a finger on anything close to busting their bubble, and the truth coming out on them. But I'm gonna tell you the truth. I know who they are. And the government knows who they are, but they need to be brought to justice. You know what I'm saying? They need to be brought to justice, and that's the truth. And I'm tired of this game. You know what I'm saying? I gave it to God, and God is truly working it out. And it may not be the day, but you know what? It's going to come a day to where I get the answers I need. You know what I'm saying? It ain't finna end like y'all think, but the truth need to be told. And I'm just giving you bits and pieces because I'm just kind of in an uproar in a little bit, but this story needs to be broken down. And I want to really have the story detailed to the world in the fashion that it needs to be told, because the things that are going on in this nation is sad that you would come to this, things come to this. And this is not just happening. This is happening to everyday people. This is happening to everyday people out here in this world. Not just me. This is happening right now to everyday people. And it's sad. And like I said, Danielle and this guy David, these people, they got other people. Chris, it was other players that's involved with this. Like I said, didn't get nowhere. This didn't even go criminal. This was dealt with. This case has been dealt with by a spiritual setting. This is not, now it's just not being viewed enough to go over into a criminal setting. I should have day one took off and went into charging these people straight out the door. But the Lord told me, hey, let me deal with it. I got it. And I believe him. And I trust God and God trusts me. And that's how we work. We're going to get this done together. Guess what? I'm a man that walks by true faith. And I believe in my upper calling. You know, and y'all done took my life 12 times over. And guess what? He ain't let y'all take me out of here. And he ain't gonna never let you take me out of here. Because guess what? He want to give me what belongs to me. And we're going to take care of the rest of that after it's done and said.